French press coffee. You just can't beat it. Classic. It's simple to make, always makes a reliable brew, but for some reason, people just keep leaving those darn grounds mashed at the bottom. Hello, Josh here from JR Coffee, and today we're going to be having a look at It's American Press. Advertised as the press without the mess, it was invented from the frustrations of a college student who noticed that his peers would almost refuse to clean out their French presses, leaving grounds in the bottom for days at a time. And I have to agree, it's something that we're all guilty of doing sometimes. I mean, you make a killer pot of coffee, and the only thing that you want to do is actually enjoy it right now. So, whilst we all love a good French press, the cleaning process has always been a little bit tedious. So this is where the American press comes in. I'm sorry, not the American press, It's American Press. Says it right here. So, It's American Press is meant to be the answer to all this mess. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at how this new coffee brewing device works and how to brew coffee with it. After that, we'll be pitting it against the aeropress and the French press to compare taste and overall convenience. And if that sounds interesting to you, then give this video a like and be sure to subscribe for more videos like this one. All about It's American Press. It's a simple brewing device that's made up of three main components. So of course, to start, we've got the flask, which holds all the water, a glass pod, which holds all of the coffee grounds, which features a metal mesh filter, and of course the piston, which is what we'll be pushing down. The device offers pressurized extraction, hands-on control of the brew time, and ultra-fine 100 micron still filtration. Now, without the use of paper filters or plastic coffee pods, It's American Press claims to be an eco-friendly way to hand brew coffee at home. And their raw cardboard style packaging reinforces the eco-friendliness of this brand. It brews up to 14 ounces at a time and states the average brew time to be 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, let's just dive in and make some coffee based on the manufacturer's recipe. For starters, it's recommended that we use a medium grind, and we'll also be using a medium roast coffee too. It says that it's best to mostly fill up the pod with grounds. Their instruction says 20 to 24 grams, but I found that it can usually only fit anywhere between 15 to 20 grams at a time. Now, we want to avoid too fine a grind, as this will create too much resistance when pressing, and that's not pleasant for you or the poor plunger. Okay, so then we'll close the pod. Okay, next, the water. We'll be filling this up to the max fill line, which is roughly 355 millilitres of water. They don't mention an optimum water temperature in any of their how-to guides on the packaging or in the website, so we're going to be using 93 degrees Celsius, about 200 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a common water temperature for immersion brewing. So now let's attach the plunger, and then we'll begin plunging until we see that very first drop of coffee roll over the top. So the manufacturer advises that you pre-infuse. So this is exactly what we're going to do here. Again, the rules are very loose here. They advise anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 minutes. And I feel like 30 seconds should be enough at this stage. This is also an opportunity to enjoy the sight and the smell as the coffee off-gases. Okay, let's press. So, now take your time here. A typical pressing should be between 30 seconds and 2 minutes. And a lot of other reviewers online have found that the longer the press time, the better the brew. So I'll be aiming for the upper end of the scale at around 2 minutes. I absolutely love how cool this is. So you can see the coffee being extracted on the top, and we've still got the clear water underneath. And I just think it looks really cool. Like the French press, if it has a bit too much resistance when pushing down, just lift it up a little bit, a couple of inches. With that final push. There we go, we're at the bottom now. Okay. The colour's okay. Maybe ever so slightly under extracted. Not a lot. It doesn't look terrible. I've definitely made worse cups of coffee before. Right, let's experience the advertised drip-free pouring and enjoy. So I've gone with a Costa Rican. It's one of my favourite beans. It's a nice medium roast. Now there's not really any unpleasant sort of woody textures or tones at all. It's still a lovely coffee experience, but I'm aware that when I make a brew with these beans, using an aeropress for example, that there are a lot more flavours that I should be expecting, and brewing it this way just seems to miss out. Okay, now we're about to do something a little different today. We're going to go ahead and prepare 3 cups of coffee using its American press, aeropress and French press, and to try and keep it as fair a test as possible, we'll be using the same coffee bean at the same medium grind with the same water temperature at 93 degrees. So I'll go ahead and I've already brewed my French press, I've just brewed the It's American press, so let's quickly brew our aeropress. Okay, there we go. So we've got It's American press, aeropress, French press. Now I'm going to start with the French press here. So we've got a slightly woody overtone, which usually indicates to me that it's either been over extracted, it's been immersed for too long. It's not unpleasant. It's not like it's been absolutely ruined, but I know that this bean could taste a lot better. We'll go over to the aeropress now. So the aeropress is my personal favourite. It's how I will brew my coffee at home every morning. So with the aeropress, it just always tastes like a completely different coffee. You can taste everything, absolutely everything. It's like fruity flavours in there even. You can't go wrong. You simply can't. And then finally, It's American press, which we've only just poured a few minutes ago. So it's probably optimum drinking temperature now. Do you know what? I'm surprised. This is better than I actually expected it to be. Now I'm comparing it with the aeropress, I'm actually more impressed. See what I did there? It's still extracted a lot of the flavour. It's quite remarkable, really. Okay, so flavour-wise, let's rank them. So, in the last place is definitely French press. It has to be. Followed by It's American press taking the middle, and aeropress definitely has to be number 1. In terms of convenience, we're going to put French press right at the bottom. As we know, it takes ages to clean these things out. You always get the grounds stuck at the bottom. They end up all over your sink. The aeropress, whilst in general it's quite convenient, there's a few different moving parts that need cleaning. You know, you've got to take the paper filter out. You've got to get rid of those grounds. I think, yeah, the It's American press does prove its point of being the most convenient for the sole reason that this capsule here is easily removed and easy to clean out. So there we have it. I'm going to go ahead and enjoy all 3 cups of these coffees at once, so I probably won't be sleeping tonight. But the most important question is, it's American Press. Yes or no? It's yes. It's useful. Because it's like an all-in-one design, it's quite compact. I'd say it travels well. It's not made of glass on the outside, so it's probably relatively shatterproof. The brewing experience doesn't take too long, not much longer than a French press anyway, and the convenience of the cleanup is probably its biggest selling point, really. If you're looking for the best brewing device to get the best extraction out of your beans, then this probably isn't the device for you. However, if you're looking more for the convenience side of things, then grab yourself It's American Press. So I hope you enjoyed our review of It's American Press today. Thank you very much for watching. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. Also be sure to check out jrcoffee.com. Thank you very much.